Long
Hello.
time no see.
Yes, we're here. We're live.
We are here. We are live. We didn't have much time to set up anything, so we don't have the typical show with everybody on it. We just kind of wanted to drop in and let everybody know what our future plans are. And I think Mojo is going to drop by to play some music here in a little bit. But yeah,
Yes,
let
I'm
me just double check
reposting.
and see where he is. Um, Is it on? I'm sorry, we haven't been here in a little bit, so I'm not even sure if I set it up right. Are we even broadcasting? At a second, let me
We are,
check
we're
that
out there.
out.
I just checked
Oh, you
through
can
there.
see it. Okay, oh, that's
Yes.
good. All right.
So anyway, hello everyone. Yeah, so we don't have any guests for
Hello.
today, but we might have Mojo come and give us some music. But anyway, we've been away for a little while and we just thought we would pop in and say hi and tell everybody kind of what's going on with us and what we're doing next. We appreciate all of your support, checking in with us and seeing how things are going. I haven't been off of X, I guess. Like I used to just lurk in the background and not say anything prior to getting into AI stuff. And then it's like been a whirlwind where I haven't been off of X in many months and constantly trying to engage and look at stuff and be part of things. And I think coming back from vacation was like, okay, I need a mental reset too. So it was nice to take a little bit of time off. And my husband missed seeing me around and doing chores around the house. It's yard work season, which is always fun. So it's been good to kind of catch up on real world stuff too.
Real world stuff indeed. It was my birthday yesterday. I'm
Happy
very old now.
birthday.
Thank you. And it was also my eldest. It was her birthday. We had the same birthday. She was my best birthday present ever. So we had a really nice birthday yesterday. Yeah, I don't really know where to begin. I guess just to because I know a lot of people are kind of confused about who we are, what we do. I know
Who
it
are you
well,
people?
I mean, because for example, even three people, somebody who's been with us since the beginning, since we first started the X Spaces, she just learned the other day that I actually used to create stuff. And if you go to my highlights tab and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see that I basically started in this sphere in September. The end of September was the first time I made anything. And I think I used Runway to make a little robot reading a newspaper, and that was about it. And then October hit, and I guess I tried to make something creepy, and I made a little brain and put a little creepy music to it. And I was super proud of myself. And I got a lot of feedback. Like everybody was liking it, like, that's so great. That's awesome. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, let me try something else. And I made like some ridiculous movie. I don't remember what it was, something about or something or another with the music video or something. It wasn't really great. And then I tried again and did some with the pumpkin that was a little bit better, but still, if you look at it, you can see that I didn't understand even the basics like aspect ratios or anything like that. But the content itself was pretty good and seemed to resonate with people. And then I finally knuckled down and I made this pirate opera, which got picked up by, I guess they were doing a not a contest, an awards, I guess at the time, Web3 awards. And I ended up winning for the pirate opera, which was really cool. But I didn't really think much of it because I didn't know too much about the space. I came to this space because I saw a bag of coffee from a company that I was drinking coffee from, and the Indians that were on the label were running on horses, and I knew the company didn't have the kind of money that it would take to animate a label like that, and I couldn't even imagine how you would animate a label like that. So went on the hunt to figure out how that technology works, and I found this community, and I was just blown away by the stuff that people were making. But there was no manuals, and there still aren't, on how to use the editors and the software to make, movies or music videos or ads or whatever. So I knew the only way to do it was just to sit down and start messing with it and try to figure it out. And I did that, and it was loads of fun, and the community was so welcoming. And I kind of felt like, I mean, it was crazy because I was getting so many accolades, it felt like, for something that I just wasn't even like, I had spent no time on, had no real clue about. But it was really nice and was welcoming. And and I did it for a while. And then after a while, I think I was probably just, I don't know. I want to say that I was probably going to step away from the whole thing because I feel like I'd kind of done what I had come to do, which was learn the technology, and then I had been around enough where, for example, at that awards thing, for me, it was no big deal. I didn't understand the award show. I didn't understand how much time and money other people have already put into all of this, and I guess some people took the awards more
Hmm.
seriously than I did, and people just have a different view of, the awards in general. Um, and I guess it kind of started feeling, I don't know, there was kinda like that funky toxic edge, let's say, out there in the community as well, and I certainly didn't wanna be a part of that, and if everybody was getting rubbed the wrong way over things like awards and so on, then I was just kinda, "Well, maybe I'll go do something else." And it was about that time that, Kiri and Mike Chavez, they were doing
Yeah.
a late night space, and they invited, Lisa and I to come and join the space, and we just started chit chatting, and there was nobody in it. It was just Carrie, Mike, myself, and Lisa, and I don't remember what we were gabbing about, but all of a
All
sudden,
kinds of stuff,
somebody
random stuff.
random stuff. And I think at the time I was talking about shaving cream or something, and this voice pipes up and says, "Why are we here with astrophysicists and Nobel laureates and so on and so forth?" And this guy's talking about shaving cream. And I said, "Who's here with what?" And I looked at my phone, and there was like 400 people in the room with us suddenly. And I'm, wow, what's going on here? And then somebody else piped in and said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Despite all of our different backgrounds, the one common strand that we all have is an abundance mindset." And I had never heard I don't know, the ethos of the abundance mindset. And if I had to sum up in my day, I think we called it the glass is half full. And the scarcity mindset is the glass is half empty. And so we sat in that thing for a couple of hours at least. We heard all kinds of random conversation, but it was all positive. Like one guy was doing some sort of hydroponic farming and had like all of these ideas for the future of farming. Other people were talking about education. It was such a fulfilling, soul nourishing, I don't know, space, that when we left, we just felt really good about it. It was like, I don't know, like after all, I was kind of feeling down. Like I just kind of felt like everybody was a little bit bitter and there was a little bit of toxicity. But now I'm sitting in this space and I feel great. Um, so I had the idea, a light bulb went off, and I said, "Well, maybe we could do this like regularly." And I asked Lisa, "Hey, do you want to do like a space, like maybe every week we can just like kind of reproduce that, invite some people, chit chat about whatever, and just like keep it positive, basically." Because there was already a million and one spaces out there that were doing hot takes, everybody's opinion on this, complaints about that, and so on. And that was fine for them, but it wasn't what we wanted. It wasn't what I needed, to be honest. I needed some positivity. And so we set out to be the positivity that we wanted to see. Um, so yeah, so that's what we did. I mean, for those of you who joined us on Abundance Wednesday since the beginning, it was just a space, and it was a space
Yeah.
like anybody else's, but we just tried to keep the positive edge. Everybody would show up, we'd chit chat about whatever. We even went to adjacent communities. We got musicians, we got David Duran. Mojo's here somewhere. He'll be in a little bit, but we got musicians, poets came, and it was just, everybody kept telling us the same thing that we felt, which was, that it was positive and everybody really liked it. And they walked away from the space feeling good for the week and they missed it. And we're looking forward to the next week. And we felt the same. So we kept going. But then I realized that during the space that our sound was really bad, like, especially for our musicians. We had people from all over the world were like queuing up their guitars and stuff, but the compression on X was messing with the sound. So I sat down with Grok for about a month, interrogating it on how I fixed the sound.
Yeah,
And
it's funny. I feel like most people just deal with whatever the sound is, but not if you have an audio file that you're working with because he was going really, really crazy about the sound issue. It's like, how does it sound? And I'm like, I don't know. It sounds fine to me. I can hear it. That's the important thing, right? And he was not satisfied at
Well
all with
well
that.
well, because I just felt like other people were putting their time and effort into, like, doing the live music and stuff. I was just trying to, respect their time and effort, basically.
Yes.
Um And so Grok gave me a bunch of choices, and I would choose some of those choices, and we go round and round about it, and I finally came up with what we came up with here, which was just I don't know, a more streamlined version that streamed. We didn't have to deal with the compression. But if you remember, initially, we didn't have, I mean, like we have now, we just had our avatars. We just wanted a space. That was all we wanted, was a non-sucky X space. Um, but then we discovered that it had like video capabilities and whatnot. And as you know, a lot of you guys that come on the show are from the AI video community, and so we were showing those as well. But what is our show? What is this? I don't know. It kind of developed organically. I would say it's a talk show more than anything.
Yeah.
But I think wholly, what it was supposed to be was just a place for us to all share and be positive. And I also
Yeah.
kind of wanted to, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, just from my perspective too, of coming into all of this a little bit, because I too was kind of like just jumped into doing AI stuff, and what brought me here is I was just like really into this band, and they were having a contest that had literally nothing to do with AI, but my brain is, I guess, divergent, and it was like, ooh, I can do something like this project I have in mind, and I didn't know how to do it, so I was like, maybe I can do it with these AI tools. And from there, had kind of stumbled upon it. So Lance and I met just completely by happenstance because, as you know, we all kind of fell into the same space together. So we saw what each other were doing and we just like meme back and forth on Twitter replies, which is so funny how you get to know people. So yeah, it was like completely out of the blue that we joined that space and we're like, yeah, this is fun. And as you guys have seen, as we've done anything we've done together, is that we just like, we have been best friends from the start. It's funny how you run into people you just really click with. And I think that's probably one of the best things I've seen about X as a platform. It has its strengths and weaknesses, but we were able to just like start doing stuff together, and it was just really a lot of fun. So I think the whole theme of Abundance Wednesdays is we just kind of been flying by the seat of our pants for all of these months. We had no real goal or objective starting out, other than like Lance said, we just really wanted to like be positive and tell people about the tools and like wow we really can spread the abundance. That's an awesome mindset to have, that there's you see this in like the quote old world where there's a lot of this like gatekeeping and competition, and I come from the corporate world, and I know a lot of the people that we have met up with since then come from like the music industry or filmmaking and just these really competitive industries where people, in my world, it's like you don't want to know what you want to kill your competition. I work in bids where it's like, you're always trying to beat your competitors. And of course, you want to keep all the abundance within your own company or even within the executives within your company. So, anyway, looking at the way the world is changing, it just seemed to us that there was so much more opportunity to spread the abundance in the world, that people don't have to live in scarcity and have that scarcity competition mindset. There's enough to go around. And really, with the way these tools have evolved and are evolving, it's like kind of silly to think that you have some secret sauce out there because, everybody is using everything available to them to make things. So really the only thing that sets you apart is your own imagination, the power of your imagination. And to me, that's where the magic started happening with the things that I was making, just like Lance was making his pirate opera, like I was making a lot of things back then too. Which again, what got me into all of this was just the love of creating things and being able to express my creativity and making like different little shorts. And I like to make things that are amusing to me, and I guess if they're amusing to others, that's great. But I would just laugh at the stuff I would make, and it was just really a lot of fun. So that's what got me into AI in the first place. Is that fun? And then we wanted to kind of share that with everyone, having the space. But as far as like the format it's taken, it's evolved over time to where it's just been really interesting and also awesome because like we didn't know what we were doing going in, and like Lance said, we had, like, 3 people was on one of our very first spaces, and she came and just started doing freestyle. We're like, "This is awesome," and she's in Nigeria, and how are we getting people from around the globe that just come in? Like she always says, "Your vibe attracts your tribe," and I think we just all fell into this together, those of us who shared that mindset. And that's really just been cool to see how the show transpired since then with like Lance setting up the stream so that we could share video and have people on camera and just be able to share more with people. But then like being able to have filmmakers on, and like we had Hal from who won the BAFTA award. That was a really cool show because it just shows to us that we really are making an impact on people out in the broader world who are come from all walks of life. We have people on the show who are just like hobbyists, and then we have people who are like world renowned photographers and filmmakers and advertisement executive people coming on the show. And it's just been really a wild ride because again, we started out with nothing in mind, and to see the community around that being happy and part of everything has been really fulfilling for me personally. It's been really cool to see people get invested in us and invested in what we were doing, and that's just really been, I guess, my side of why we were keeping going with this. We started doing all these I started doing those, weekly promos just because I had a wild hair one night, and I was like, "Oh, this will be fun," and I didn't know what I was getting myself into because, like, that became all I started creating is these weekly promos, which are I had a lot of fun making, but, at the same time, it's like, well, I Lance is an awesome creator, and I want people to be able to be seeing his creations, and then somewhere along the line, we thought, yeah, let's start a business together and let's do the foundation together so that we can help spread these tools to everybody and provide these resources to people. So as you can see, it's just kind of all taken this evolution, none of which we really had in mind or
So
planned, but it's just been really fun.
on the business and foundation end, though, not to jump too quickly
No, I was
into
about to
that,
shift
but,
over to you.
one of the prerequisites for this, show that we're doing is that it was never involving money in any way. Certainly, there's been a lot of opportunity to, monetize it or whatnot because there's been interest, but we felt that this was always a community space. I mean, that's all it was. It was an X space. Yes, I had to throw some money at it to turn it into what it is now, but still, it's a community space. And if it's not a community space, then what is it? So that's what it was and what it is and what it will continue to be. We'll never monetize this stream and that's it, or whatever it is, show. I don't know what this,
We
um,
don't know, we
but
still don't know what it is.
it's not monetized and it never will be. Because I feel that if you do that, then you kind of put a funk on the message, which is positivity and just sharing everybody's creativity. And like Lisa said, it wasn't just for the AI art community. It was for anybody who was positive, saw the abundance, and wanted to be creative, like that space we were in that night. I mean, we've had mind branches on here.
Mhm.
We've had Dave Bowder. We've had other authors.
Yeah,
Jessica was
Jessica.
here. Um, so, we've had writers, we've had producers, we've had everybody on this show. And there's more people that we want to have as well. But since we're not going to monetize this, we were trying to figure out, well, what do we want to monetize? Because part of the thing is this was taking so much of our time to do this show. Lisa has a normal day job.
I
And
do.
I was thinking, okay, well, how do I get her out of being stuck in this normal day job and to get paid for what we do here without monetizing the show? So I decided let's open our own business. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at business, and Lisa had a ton of ideas as well, but I had some ideas as well. So we opened up Turtle and Hair, which is an LLC, and it does a lot of things, but it doesn't do anything to do with this show or anything like that. Mainly, it is merchandising, foodstuffs, some
It's a lot of things.
books. It does quite
Turtle
a
and
few
hair is
things.
all
I
of
have
it.
to tell you more about that, but it's really involved a long story. But the reason I mention it is that it has nothing to do with what we do here. It is a completely separate thing. And then along the way, in talking about how we loved AI and, that it now everybody can tell a story, now everybody can make their own movie, now everybody can, make music videos, etc. And how empowering it was and how, inclusive it was. It all sounded great in theory, but in the end, we realized this another truth, which was, yes, it's inclusive if you have money
Yeah.
because these tools cost. And even if you're going to get into a CP, you've got to spend that initial investment in buying the tools, learning it, and making something cool enough to where one of the companies looks at you and says, hey, we'll get you in a CP so you can make cool stuff for us as well. And that might be acceptable for those of us in the Western world who can afford, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever you're going to shell out. But for example, three people, people in Nigeria who are existing on less than $200 American a month, these tools are a little bit out of the realm of feasibility for most, and especially at the rate, for example, myself, I currently use about 21 different tools. Yes, I'm in CPs as well, but I think clearly I pay for more than the CPs that I'm
Hmm.
in. And that's just not attainable for most people. So we wanted to figure out how do we help these people all over the world who are great creators like Three, but can't afford to play in this game. So we set up the foundation to do just that. It is a pain to get federal tax exemption and
To say the
whatnot,
least.
but um, I worked again with an LLM for quite some time and figured it out. And we actually have it now. We've got our federal tax exemption and all of that, so it's good.
Yay.
And yay. And we will leverage that to get software subscriptions, which we already have people lining up to offer. I mean, it's all going great. Thank you to everybody who's wanting to get involved already. It's just, there's just the two of us. So it's taken us a moment to make sure that we do
Yeah.
everything right.
And on that note, I don't want to undersell that. Like, Lance got an approved foundation through the US government by working with an LLM.
Yay.
And this is exactly what we're talking about with the power of AI tools expands what any one individual can do into becoming like this powerhouse, because this is also like why we want to be able to spread the message, exactly that. It's like how many people out there are out there starting their own government approved 501(c)(3) foundation and being able to work with an LLM to figure out all the ins and outs and what have yous of doing that. And I just really was like blown away by the fact that he was able to do all of that. And these
And
are the
so could
kinds of
you,
things, and so could you. And these
is the
are the kinds
beauty
of
of all
things.
of
It's like
this.
there are so many opportunities out there for people on an individual level to change the world and change their life. And more people need to know about this. And I just think that it's an incredible accomplishment that you did that. And I wanted to congratulate you
So
on,
thank
because
you. Well,
it's really such a great example for what you
so
can do.
so exactly that. It's helping us help everybody else. And on the foundation, just to be clear too, the way it is set up, because it is an actual public charity, there is zero way that myself, Lisa, or anybody else who sits on the board can benefit from it. There, it is highly illegal, and you are highly scrutinized. You can't take a penny from the foundation for anything.
Correct.
So be sure that anything that comes to this foundation benefits us in no way. I can't even use the foundation for it's there's so many rules. But anyways, so it is a just good. It is it's yeah, it's a good thing. We're happy with it. And then the LLC, like I said, y'all just have to follow along on that. But point is, I guess the point that I'm moving to here is that when we look at the platforms and we look at the things that we're doing now, the LLC primarily is merchandise products, let's say physical products. There is certainly a digital aspect as well, marketing and so on, but the vast majority of it is products. And X is not good for selling products. It's the wrong platform for that. The foundation is obviously a completely different type of entity as well, better suited for things like LinkedIn. X, again, is not really the place for a foundation. X is primarily a good place for community and hanging out with everybody and, kind of having fun and stuff like that, but probably not a huge moneymaker, at least not for the type of things we're doing. So, coming to that, we are going to be
Mhm.
refocusing our efforts towards other platforms at the moment. We're not leaving X as far as like our show and stuff like that, but the show is also going to change a little bit to be more in line with what we're doing on the just in our daily everything. And certainly visual arts are part of everything that we do, and we're highly interested in it. But there's about a million and other things that AI is capable of helping with. And I really would like to share that with everybody. What do you do with AI? I mean, what is the case study? Not everybody is out programming, not everybody is interested in generative art, but what else can you do with AI? Well, you
Yeah,
can open an LLC, you can open a
exactly.
foundation, you can
You can make
make
video
recipes.
games, you can make
Yeah.
recipes, like, and that's funny because one of, again, the projects I was doing last year, I kind of helped roll things along for me was I just wanted to make a video about making eggnog because I like making my own homemade eggnog at Christmas time. And I was like, oh, it'll be fun if I do like a music video that has a singing elf making eggnog. So that was just something where, it's an actual how you make your own eggnog recipe, but it has like little song and it has like an elf and a little guy dancing around and like a little shark in it. And it was just really fun to make. But then it's like you can also watch it and learn how to make eggnog. So these are all, you see people making like little cooking cats and stuff like this now. And it's just one of those things where you're using the tools, but what are you using it for? This is something that we've tried to get across and stress just throughout our shows is that to me, and this is where the foundation comes into play too. It's like, what are you trying to do with the tool? So, especially in this space where we're all kind of uber laser focused on being in these CPs and knowing all of the tools that are out there. We were just talking to someone who's completely outside of the AI world last night, and he's kind of like, "Oh, so you're doing open AI?" And he didn't know anything about these other companies that exist. And so we all know we're like, "Oh, there's Luma and Pika and Runway and Higgsfield and Hilo." Like we know all these companies off the top of our head, and we're in their CPs and we're doing stuff. But then the whole world outside is like, "Oh, you mean Chat GPT?" They literally have
Right.
no knowledge of what you're even talking about. You sound like you've come from another planet when you start talking to them. And I think it's easy to lose sight of the fact that people, immediately, if you're talking AI, you're like, "Oh, you want to know about my workflow." And then if you talk to somebody outside, they don't even know what you mean by your workflow. They think you're talking about something to do with Chat GPT, which they may not have used. So to me, it's taking a step back and saying, what is your idea? What do you want to do? Do you want to start a company? Do you want to make a movie? Do you want to make a comic book? Like, do you want to write a book? What do you want to do in life? And then there's a tool that's going to help you do that. And I think that's part of what we're trying to just teach people is that you're entering a world of absolute abundance. You can have a car that drives for
Yes.
you. You can have a robot that does your yard work for you. I'm going to keep mentioning yard work.
Mhm.
Just having a large yard. I would love a robot to come do it for me. But you can make a company. You can basically have the life of your dreams in the future because the future that's rapidly approaching if you know what tools are available to you. And there's just too many people out there in the world who don't, even small business owners, anyone who can benefit from either doing something themselves or finding someone who can help them that's uh, working in a cooperative manner, and that's kind of the world that we want to see. People like to sit around and complain about the current state of the world, and honestly, X, it gets like that even if you're talking about outside the AI space. As I'm sure all of you know, the algorithm of these platforms is constantly changing to where you start seeing all this stuff in your feed that you're maybe not even interested in. But you know uh, people, if it bleeds, it leads. And there's a lot going on in the world right now that's really actively working to try to bring everyone's vibe down. And I think that the only real defense we have against that is to keep our own spirits high and to focus on the goodness and the abundance of the future and do what you can to make your life better because the world's going to do what the world's going to do. But you have the power in your hands to make your life as good and abundant as possible. And that's kind of just what our overarching messages has always been. And I think that we just want people to see endless opportunity that they have through the various vehicles that we're trying to build.
Right. If you've got an LLM, think of it like a genie in a lamp. It's a little bit of a drunken genie, though. You're gonna have to check his work, but on average, if you rub it and you tell it what you want, it's gonna give you a bunch of ideas, and if you keep playing with it, it'll help you bring them to fruition. So that's what we plan on doing with the foundation. The foundation is is an educational foundation. That is its classification. It is to provide resources, in this case, to help people learn about, not just the like Luma or the the generative art stuff, but also the LLMs, how to use them, what can you do with them, case studies. I mean, we have so many people that are talented out in the community and other places as well, that would like to share that knowledge, because thus far I haven't found personally a place that has all of the questions kind of answered in one spot, and the resources to be able to, you my idea is you come to the website, you look at it, you figure out what it is you want to do, you get access to the tools, and try to create something, whatever it is. But we just want to really kind of level the playing field for everybody, and the companies already have the software and they're totally down to donate it, to an actual charity, which this is. So that's that. So we're going to focus on the foundation. We're going to be focusing on our business, and we are going to try to bring more exciting shows, that'll continue to show some artists, but we got other things planned as well. More writers, because I really like the book stuff and whatnot.
Mhm.
Cooking shows, man, I want to find
Yes.
out about the cooking stuff as well. A lot of people out there cooking, and then there are just a plethora of other interesting people that want to come on the show as well. It's just I don't know how often it's going to be, because, like I said, we're super duper busy doing stuff. It's certainly at this point probably would not be a weekly show. It just doesn't. It just doesn't sound feasible. But as
Well,
fun
it's
as it
yeah, it's
is,
funny because, again, we had no real goal going into it, we just thought a weekly space would be fun, and then next thing you know, we're like, "Man, we need, like, a producer and someone to go find guests for us, and we gotta make these promos," and it just became a thing unto itself, and I was like, "Wow, it's awesome how much this has taken off, but goodness, who knew that there was so much work involved in running your own weekly show?
right?
Guess
I
that's
actually
why
need a
people have a whole staff."
production team or something. Exactly. I'm like, wait a second, this is getting serious. We're gonna have to get a production team here soon. Um, but yeah, but it has been awesome. I just want to thank everybody who has come on the show since, God, I don't know how many shows have we had since then. It's been
Ooh, a lot. It's been
a
since
bunch.
January, pretty much every
It's
week since January.
Yeah, it's been super duper fun. Everybody in the community is really great. I can't, it's been an experience, absolutely. And it's just time to go and focus on some other things, because honestly, aside from spreading the positivity, we kind of had hoped as well that, like all the accolades I got early on, I saw so many other people that needed accolades as well. So we figured, okay, well, let's throw them up on some sort of space and get them seen, and let's get this community like more seen by the general public and whatnot. But it's a tough one as we speak to people who have no idea about AI. They are just very confused about what goes on here in general, what AI is, what they can do. Everybody just knows Chat GPT, and they pretty much know it from a Google search kind of point of view, or they think that it's some sort of a super all-in-one bot that you just tell, "Hey, make me a movie," or whatever, and it does, which it will one day. I tell a lot of people because they want to know where I see the AI space in the future, and I said, well, in my opinion, within a couple of years, the creating that we do right now is done for, on an individual level, because, like it or not, those the agentic programs, the all-in-ones or whatnot, are getting better.
Yeah.
And, I would say, I don't know, conservatively, I'd give it 2 years before these things can make, really, really awesome level stuff. And I know some of people are like, "Yeah, but there's gonna be some who always prefer that human input." Well, that's true. But on the whole, as an industry, Companies are going to much rather, because you'll literally be able, we've already seen some of the rudimentary software. You'll literally be able to walk up to, for example, Chat GPT and say, hey, make me a thriller about a dog who wears cat's clothes, two men and a woman or whatnot. And it's going to pump it out for you. And it's going to be, halfway decent. Probably much better than a lot of the garbage that's on Netflix and so on at the moment. Um, but I think that, this generative art is kind of a bubble. It will pop eventually, and I want to be able to have other opportunities. And there are loads and loads of opportunities out there. There's a lot of venture capitalists for those of you who are interested. There's loads of people out there looking to invest money. That does come with, conditions generally though. But if you're amiable to the conditions, there is a lot of money out there for generative art, for other business ideas that you have in the AI field. So I want to encourage everybody to continue in the field. You just may want to spread yourself around a little bit. Um,
Yeah. Well, even on that note about, being able to have the AI tool make you anything you want kind of on the fly is, I think, just even outside of the AI space, just community in general, humanity in general. We're social creatures. We're built to be around each other. Even us very introverted people still need to have social lives. And, lots of studies show that you definitely need to have some sort of social outlet and community because that's just who we are as humans. You like to have a tribe of people that you feel connected with. And I think one of the things that society in general has done over the past, decades, when we grew up, we're all kind of a lot of us are Gen X and things, and we grew up in a different time where we were outside a lot. We played with our friends. We had sleepovers. We just had more, I think, connection growing up with people, physical connection. And then today, you look and you see the complete opposite, where kids could be sitting in the same room together and they're just on their phones texting, and there's just not that human connection. A lot of people are online. They might even be like on Instagram or people are still on Facebook. I don't know. I haven't been on there ever. But there's just that actual true social connection and feeling of community that a lot of people I think are missing. And as you go into the future, you can have different viewpoints of that. But if we have these tools that can help kind of automate our lives, a lot of people look at that in a bleak way because they're used to working like a 9 to 5 job and they don't really have a lot of other uh, inspiration in life for how the world could be different. Well, if I'm not out there working, what am I going to do all day? And to me, I see it as this opportunity that we have to where instead of it's like living through the Industrial Revolution where people were out plowing fields by hand all the time and doing all this manual labor. Instead, you have now these machines and you have cars and you have things that are making your life easier. You can do your housework easier with a dishwasher. These are just tools. We've always evolved technology to serve us. I don't think it's any different with AI. And they're all just tools that ultimately are designed to help serve us and make us better as humans. So if you look at something that's going to be able to make things for you, then I think that our place as humans is to figure out um, how to free up our time. And this again goes into the discussion of abundance that we don't have to be out there scavenging for resources all the time. Instead, we can let these tools make our lives easier and do things for us. And so, what does that free us up to do? Well, it frees us up to be able to do what humans do best, and that's to create and inspire each other and to have communities that are strong. Go back to maybe, where people used to help raise families together and have tribes and have social lives, and this is the human connection that I think a lot of us have been missing. And what drew us together in the first place in this community is people do miss that human connection. That's always been what we've tried to stress is that we think that there's the power to show your imagination to your friends. This is what I was thinking of. And I think that's always going to be around. So even if a tool can make the movie for you, you can still express your imagination through that. But I think as far as economically in the near term, because we still all have to pay our bills until we live in more of a utopian sort of society. So our heads are grounded in that we need to deal with the world as it is, as we work towards the world as we want it to be. But to that respect, it's like we just want to inspire people to put their efforts where it's going to have long-term impact because like Lance said, some of these things are going to come and go. You might not have the same opportunities available to you tomorrow that you do today, but what are you going to build that's going to last into the future? And that's kind of what we're looking at on both our business front and the foundation front, is being able to inspire people to think about what it is you want to do to make your life abundant and make those around you's life abundant in the future, and then finding economic opportunities to be able to do that for you in some sort of sustainable way. And I think that's probably just our overarching focus on both angles.
Exactly that, empowering people. I mean, it's what everybody has talked about since I got here is how empowering all this technology is that, this person can do that who couldn't before, and I certainly, have benefited from, AI and whatnot. Anyways, it's all been great. We love you guys to death. This
Yes.
has been a super fun time, super fun community. You guys are super all talented, and we thank you for inviting us in to play with you. And we're still going to be here. It's just the old
Yeah, I think that most of you who follow us know that we do have the X accounts for Turtle and Hair and for the AI Arts Foundation. We appreciate those of you who have followed us there. If you haven't, please do. We do have YouTube channels. We have work in progress websites. We didn't have a lot of time to focus on getting those actually up and running over the last month or so, but we are definitely working on getting our presence out there on the other platforms. So if you follow us, we're going to be on Instagram. We've even broken down and we're joining the the masses over at TikTok. We try to
TikTok.
resist.
It is.
We tried to resist, but that's where the people are. That's where we're going to be. I know a lot of people inside and outside the AI community have expressed some of their own dissatisfaction with the X platform in its current state. And I don't know if it's getting better or worse, but I do think that it's not necessarily serving a lot of us and our various goals in life. And it does tend to be a time sink, again, outside of our community, even. And you got to scroll through all this stuff you may or may not want to see. And overall, there's a lot going on in the world. I think it can start to weigh on you to spend too much time scrolling through any of that. So I would just encourage everyone to find the platform and the space that's going to help you focus on what's actually important to you in your life and your values, and to not get sucked into everything else going on in the world that you ultimately don't have any individual power over, which is a
Yeah.
little of advice there. But to that end, we're just going to be on some of these other platforms starting to build out so that we can make sure that we're getting the message out there in a way that people can know what to do with it. I think we get stuck in a little corner here on X where they don't like AI for whatever reason. You get all the haters, you get all this and that, and it's not getting the message out there in a way that people understand how they can benefit
And
from
not
it, I don't
and
think.
not only that, how I don't know how much I'm helping you by retweeting your post, liking your post, commenting your post, when I could actually be out there building something that, like, would be, in fact, more beneficial. Because as I've maintained from the beginning, in my opinion, AI and generative art in general is a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche, meaning the general public at large has no idea with it. And shockingly, to many of us, don't care. And you'd be surprised how many people you can show your generative art and whatnot. And I can literally see the fog go over their eyes. They're like, oh, that's cool. And some
Exactly.
and some of my friends who I haven't spoken to in a long time, and I wanted their honest feedback, and they would never lie to me, what's their take on the AI and stuff, and they said, "Bro," they said, "I'm a little bit sick of it." And I'm like, "Why?" And they said, "Well, you go on the social and, you see something that's kinda cool and you start watching it, and then boom, turns out to be AI, and it's just I don't know, I'm just tired of seeing AI over and over and over." And so I feel like, there's some people that are just kind of burnt out by it. Some people are not into it. Anyways, the point being that I want to try to do other things that are going to help the community, and I felt that since the beginning that the only way we become less of a niche is when we all kind of band together and do stuff together. There's lots of ways to do that. There are other platforms out there and streams and stuff that are sharing everybody's generative work and art and videos and so on. But this is certainly one way about it. But the other way to go is you're going to have to build businesses around it and make it acceptable. We are Turtle and Hare AI because every last thing that we do in our business involves AI, from the very concept of creating the business to making the foods to making books to making the products. It all involves AI. So we're kind of trying to be the proof in the pudding. You can build an empire with this stuff. And people are super duper interested. This whole thing has just been wild. It was never like a plan, but apparently people really like it. And if we can do it, you can absolutely do it. Just pick the topic that you like and something that you can stick with.
Mhm.
I think Fussy Pastor was telling me once about like IP or something. So yeah, find the IP that you like and or something that resonates with you and just build on that. Something that gives you joy. And in this case, Turtle and Hare, I don't know, just gives me giggles, and Lisa as well. So we just keep on building on that.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's definitely business opportunities out there, and so we're moving to TikTok. I don't know if can we put our link to TikTok and Instagram, and I still need to set up the LinkedIn one, but feel free to follow us over there. There's still going to be shows. We just need to kind of reconfigure how the shows are and what the shows are and so on. But if I had to slap a title on what our shows are, they are talk shows, and the topics are various, but the consistent topic is abundance, and the consistent topic is AI. Whether you're cooking or writing a book or whatever, somehow it involves AI, and we just want to spread that AI is not the job killer that everybody thinks it is. I mean, it will, but it is also full of potential to help you not only keep your job, but maybe make a better one or something. But we're just trying to spread abundance. That's all we're doing here.
Yeah, and,
Um,
and then have ambassadors that go out and tell your families and things too, because there is a lot of, I would think, rightful fear around what's going on. Just because, think about it, the people who lived through the last industrial revolution had those same fears. Their jobs were being displaced by things they didn't understand. Technological advances were moving very quickly for them, and they didn't know how they were going to have a livelihood if this thing they had done, it's manual labor they had done their whole life, was going away. There's a fear of that, fear of the unknown, fear of not being able to find your place in the new world, or how are you going to fit in. And if you look back, even what's going on now, like we lived through the whole dawn of Adobe Photoshop. Like, I used to use Frame
uh,
Maker back when I was, younger, and Page Maker and all this business quark, working on newspapers and things. And I remember living through the whole Photoshop debate where photographers were upset that these, tools were out there to do things. And now you look at modern photographers, and I don't even know, like, everyone uses Photoshop. It's ubiquitous, and it would be crazy to think that you're not going to touch something up somehow. And it's kind of the same thing with these AI tools. You see a lot of pushback from the same people who were, maybe Photoshop advocates, but now they see AI and they just get afraid of what's coming. They get afraid of being displaced. And I think that part of our duty here, just because we are in the same mindset, is to help people see that you're living through a time of very rapid technological change. And yes, it's going to be a different world, but it doesn't have to be a bleak and scary world. And again, the world focuses so much on dystopia. And this is something that I've had a hard time with over the past decade or so. Is just all of the stuff coming out of Hollywood is constantly like dystopia, dystopia. And that's the vision of the future that's been sold to everyone, is that it's bad and scary, and it's going to be that the robots taking over, and all the rich people kind of having all the resources. And instead, I think that we need to start changing that vision for people, that it can be a better world, it can be an abundant world for everyone, and we can work hand in hand with the tools, because again, that's why they were created. They were created to serve us, and we should work with them to make our lives better and more abundant, and help bring people on board so that they don't have to be in fear of the future. Instead, they can find their place and feel excited about things too. Because I think that's truly how we make the world a better place, is again, being that change you want to see and spreading the message and helping bring people into it along with you.
that's right. And so I guess, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more that one can say about the foundation and other stuff, but if you guys want to know, I know a lot of you guys have already been at us. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yes,
Almost
yeah,
like
we really
going too
do,
much
like,
detail.
really value and appreciate this community, and you're reaching out and supporting us and all this, and I know we've been kinda like, "Yes, we're doing it, but we don't have it up yet," and that's just because we've been so focused on all of these other things that now we just feel that if we're going to make a go of all of this, we've gotta get heads down and do it, and that's kind of why we are transitioning the way that we are so that we can get serious about it and it will start taking fruition. So I know that some of you have reached out to us about ways that you can help, and we again really appreciate that. And we definitely will be looking to set up more meetings with folks who are interested in seeing how we can use the resources we've already built here and then the ones that we want to build going forward in order to become more tangible ways that people can contribute to everything.
Absolutely. Give us a good reason to make a real TikTok account. Exactly that. Yeah, I haven't. I don't know how to use TikTok at the moment.
We have a profile and that's where it ends,
Yeah,
but we'll figure it out.
I started it, but we're gonna figure it out. It's going to be decent, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what it does, but just looking at it, other ideas for like, how do you use the LLMs? Because somebody was just asking me, so how did the LLM help with the business? Well, I mean, there's lots of ins and outs with that, but these things know taxes. They know state to state taxes. They know logistics. If you're looking for, how you move certain products, the best states to incorporate yourself in. I mean, they know all kinds of things. So I'm saying, come up with the thing that you're interested in and start asking those things questions. Man, they're going to give you some answers, and it's much easier to start businesses and brands and stuff out there than you would suspect. And if you want any help, let us know. And on that, if you go to, God, what is it? I'm gonna put it here. Turtle and hair dot.
Yes, and just as you know, with if back in the day you used to use Wikipedia, that you should always double check your work. And sometimes it's good to ask multiple LLMs, but then also for things that are very important, you would want to, of course, you do your own research or consult professionals. But I would say that these LLMs are getting better every day at really being able to give you good information, and you should definitely use them as at least a starting point because you could really save yourself a lot of time of manually researching things out. And money and effort.
Absolutely. I put if you guys want to keep up with us and you don't feel like opening accounts at other places, if you send us an email to Turtle and Hair AI, well, I mean, just go onto the site there and there's a little place you can put your email into it, and we will keep you apprised of the goings on and what we're going to do in the future. And if you're interested in keeping up with the AI Arts Foundation, that is also um, there. And you could shoot us a mail over there as well, and we'll keep you apprised on what's going on with that. Or if you wanted to get involved, just let us know. I'll try to check back in here to X from time to time, but yeah, you know yourself how much time you can spend doom scrolling on here, or just scrolling. Period. Just trying to keep up with everybody's work is a huge amount of time, liking, reposting, quote tweeting, all of that good stuff, to say nothing of commenting. And especially if, like Lisa, you like to write whole like novels and reply and whatnot, it's like, man, that could take like weeks to get to a few different artists. So, um, yeah, I'm trying to invest
What are
my
you trying to
time spent.
say?
Well, I'm just saying,
Always
I'm trying
typing.
to invest my time better spent in trying to build
Yeah, no, I
something.
gotcha.
So my thing is if we can make this foundation properly, which it already is. The foundation's a no-brainer. It's kind of does itself. But the business as well. If we can make Turtle and Hair work, which it's well on its way as well. But when we can show that these things are viable, and we can show that these things are viable to other people, I think we're going to start to see more acceptance of what all of us are doing, whether that be in the generative field or in the actual, LLMs, coding, whatever it is. There's so many adjacents in this. And I have yet to talk to one person who says, geez, I wish I had never discovered AI. It's really ruined my life. So I feel good about spreading that around and sharing with everybody, which I probably overshare all the time. But yeah, you guys are awesome. It has really been awesome being in this community. I know I keep on saying that, but it's taken a couple of weeks. We were thinking about we've been off for a couple of weeks, not necessarily recuperating or taking time. I just didn't know how to like say this. Is it like a goodbye letter? Not really, because we're not exactly leaving. It's just we're not going to be here day and night scrolling and all that good stuff. Try to be here in a more important or more valuable way. And I don't know, I just didn't know how to say it. I mean, you guys have been our friends and family now since I've been here since October, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to just walk away from it all and be like, "All right, peace out." But unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is. Um,
And we see this again, a lot of you. We see that you're out there, you've been day in and day out trying to make some break, not even just here, but people that I see in these adjacent communities. They're getting into how do I make money off the platform itself? Everybody's kind of looking to go viral off something. I don't really think that that's a long term economic strategy. And I see a lot of people, even in our community, who are like, this has all been great, but I've been doing this for a long time now, and I need to either be like making money off of it, or I need to reevaluate what I'm doing with my life. I've seen it a lot from just, various when I'm scrolling through X, I see the frustration just in general about people being excited about these tools, but then it's like, what do you do? What do you do next? And I guess that there's probably a lot of us just feeling like, well, this is great, but we need to be doing something with it. So that's again where we're kind of putting our focus is on we have ideas, let's go do the ideas. And we have definitely had like a ton of fun doing what we were doing, and it's been very life changing and amazing and getting to know everybody, and just a really great I'm completely grateful for the time that we've done this because this has been completely amazing. Getting to know everybody and doing all this, like I was just sitting out pretty much, my hermit recluse life, not doing anything, and this has been completely uh just world changing for me, so it's been great. But yeah, now I'm excited, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go change my life. And then that takes time and effort in and of itself. And I want to make sure that my focus is on the right places too.
exactly that. Exactly that. So, yeah, to our friends, family, neighbors, detractors, um I guess I'd kinda like to leave everybody with one final thought is, and it's kinda how we walked into this entire thing. My advice to you on your business dealings, on your daily frame of mind, and so on, is be what you want to see. Be what you want to see. If you don't want toxicity, well, then stop interacting with it. If you don't want, scarcity, then stop interacting with it. Just I'm kinda like that, people say, "So what do you like that dog where he's inside the burning house and it's like, this is fine?" And I'm like, "Pretty much, honestly, except I probably have, like, some toasted marshmallows as well." Because I'm trying to focus on what I can change, and I won't allow the detractors to tear me down. So,
And
we're
that's the
going
thing with
to continue.
watching these dystopian movies and just getting really invested in this cynical view of the future is then that becomes the world that we create. So you see the world around us is just a reflection of what people focus on, and where you put your energy, that's what your life's going to be. So on an individual level, you should put your energy and your focus on being the world you want to be, because again, the world's going to do what it's going to do. It's been doing it forever. There's throughout the history of humanity been wars, poverty, all these things that you can't change. What can you change is your life. And then once you have changed your life, you can go spread that abundance to others because you've empowered yourself, and you have more to share with others. And I think really that's all what we can do. So yes, be the burning, be the dog in the burning house. I
That's
don't think
right.
you should take
Enjoy
an
it.
uncompassionate or completely oblivious view to the world. You do need to know what's going on around you, but just don't get sucked up in letting it ruin your joy and your
Be
positivity
joyous.
and your outlook on the world because there's
Smile,
more to
go
live
down with the
for.
ship, thumbs up, it's all just happy and joy. And it's also, just on the, because 'cause I've seen a lot of things about, what's going on with the, different, CPs and stuff like that. There's a very old saying, "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth," and that applies here. And if you get a couple of people out there protesting these companies that are giving you free software and whatnot, and they ruin it for everybody, that's pretty much par for the course. And you know that in life. It's always one or two that ruin it for everybody. So I would caution against that. These companies, whatever you think, oh, I'm out there using them and I'm doing something good for them and they owe me and so on and so forth. No, man, they don't owe you anything. They're giving you free tools. And if you want to use them, use them. If you don't. It's that simple. But this business of out there like trying to rally the community against them and stuff, that's just more of that toxic stuff I'm talking about. And those of you who have come to me privately and spoken out against that, and y'all are afraid to speak out against it because you don't want any beef in the community and so on, I'm right there with you, brothers and sisters. But on the other hand, you've got to guard your own house as well. And these companies, I'll tell you, they'll get tired of it eventually, and they'll say, maybe this is more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, and
So
to
consider
that,
that.
there are so many like we're trying to do through the foundation. I mean, a lot of people out there would not be able to create things without those sorts of resources available to them. And you have to think again, if you're trying to spread the abundance mindset, that this is really helping people who are out there in other parts of the world or even could live next door to you, but they come from different walks of life, and that's their opportunity to go change their life. Um, don't ruin it for someone else. If you don't wanna do it, that's great, don't do it, but I think that there's just it's providing a lot
Some
of
people
good in the
need it.
world.
Some people
Yes,
truly, truly need
exactly.
it. And so, yeah, so I would just say consider everybody's needs. Try to consider that not everybody is, in a privileged position like some of us are, quote unquote. I hate using that word, but there it is. But think holistically. Think of the community. Think of what's good for everybody. Because I swear to you, thinking what's good for everybody is going to help you far more than thinking what's good for yourself. You're finite. Whatever you do in your own little niche world is going to end. You need everybody. You need the community. You need people to view this positively because there's so much pessimism towards AI as it is. So if I
Yeah,
looked
and
in this, from an outside observer, and I looked at the AI, what are you guys doing in this community? And I kind of see some posts, I'm like, oh geez. But if I looked in and all I saw was art and happiness and love and light, I'm thinking, geez, maybe I was wrong about this. I
and
don't
if
know.
you look at that, like right now, that a lot of these companies who are out there, they may or may not exist in the future. Because as you guys know, once you get a lot of these little independent companies out there, there's people out there wanting to buy them all up and merge them into, next thing you know, Disney owns every LLM. Like, you know what I mean? There's just so much of that that goes on that I think it would be a real shame because as you see, even with like the VO3, it's like for me, oh, well, that'd be cool for me to use it, but I'm not going to spend $250 a month to use a tool. That's crazy. So
That is
there's,
true.
and people who don't have the money to pay $30 a month for something are just in that same boat. And right now, while you have the opportunity available to you where some corporation doesn't own every AI generation tool, I think that that's just a great playground wonderland for to have as many CPs as you can and use their tools if you want to. And if you don't, great. But just from my perspective, it would be a real shame to have just one big megacorp, OpenAI, or anyone who's just going to right, hike up these prices to where it really does become a barrier, not even just to the average person, but to anyone. And then we're stuck in the same boat where everything is gate kept by the power players of the old world. And if we're trying to make a new world, then let's not fall into that trap of becoming where we've priced all of ourselves out of things because these companies aren't willing to help out anymore.
Exactly. Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
side
Less
note, but yes, it's an important
right.
discussion, I
I
think.
well, just because I keep seeing it every time I pop it open, I know that, people have everybody's got their opinion, but I'm spreading my positive opinion and I'm kind of old. So I've seen it. I've seen all of this kind of stuff play out. I've been in the corporate bodies that eventually have enough of people running their mouths and, it just I've seen all this play out. So my advice, keep the positivity. I swear to you, we're all gonna make it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you got anything else you wanted to say.
I don't. I just really appreciate everyone who's joined us here today. I know that we've never really actually done a show. I think this is the first space we've ever done where it was just the two of us talking. And sometimes people have told us, like, you guys
Oh,
need to talk about
hey.
yourself more.
Hey, yes. Do you wanna see our movie? Has
Oh,
anybody ever
yeah,
is
yeah,
there
yeah. What's the
anybody
worst
who's
scene
not
we made
seen the
anything?
pirate movie? Have you never seen the pirate movie? So this was my first, what do you call it? I don't know, my first foray at, um, making something better, I guess. Like, I kinda felt like at this time that I knew some, I guess, and so I wanted to, hold on here. I wanted to make something cool, and this was it. This was what I won the first award for, and this was kind of what kicked me off into sticking around here in this community. So I thought I'd share it because most people or many people who follow me never knew that I even made this stuff. I guess the highlights tab is worthless,
Right? Well, mine either.
right?
In a world where magic rules the seas, a sailor has many ways to die.
Oh, the sirens sing, calling me near. Voices whisper sweet, but filled with fear. Dark clouds gather right above me. A kraken stirs deep beneath the sea. Sailor souls in restless dreams, born into fate's cruel schemes. Shipwrecks on the midnight tide, in the sea where legends lie. Cannons fire, the battle's begun. Blood-soaked sails beneath the sun. Oh, mermaids lure with their gentle hand, charmed by beauty, lost on the sand. The waves will swallow, no one hears. Faded echoes drowned in fears. Sailor souls in restless dreams, drawn into fate's cruel schemes. Shipwrecks on the midnight tide, in the sea where legends hide. Traveling for us to deep's embrace, lost in the dark we leave no trace. Calling us home to the depths below. In the end, no one will know.
From the depths of the ocean, where the dead ships lie, we rise with the tide, our music's our guide. With bones for our bows, strings that never tire, we play for the night, the undead pirate choir.
Go home. Show's over.
Oh, right, I think he might be muted. We can't hear you. Lance, are you talking?
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
Oh,
I
there
was
you
muted.
go.
Oh, yeah, so no, that one was fun. I guess that one of the reasons that I really liked that one, I don't, I don't know what it seems like to anybody else, but I had about 14 different tracks for the music in there, and I took the stems and put them all together to try to make some sort of a pirate operatic thing, I guess. I don't know, but it was all right. Clearly, the technology was old, but I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, many people hadn't seen it, so I thought I would share it. Well, many people were surprised. They're like, "What? You make stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't know." But Lisa also made stuff, and so
I
I
did.
dug up one of her old ones as well. But it was still one of my favorite ones. So I don't know. It was hold on, where is it? It was
That
so
one I did for the Hedra competition, and it's a little bit frustrating because I upscaled it as much as humanly possible with every tool, and Hedra's tool at the time was just, like, not good for as far as the actual quality of I mean, the humans aren't super realistic humans, they're, like, a little bit illustrated, stylistic, but, I mean, obviously, it's still a human, and I just had a really hard time with it, so excuse the quality, but yes, it was fun
excuse the quality.
to
It is what it is, but it's all right. All right, there it is.
The old-fashioned way?
This doesn't sound anything like what's in my head.
Oh, I can't even draw a straight line.
Writer's block is so lame.
Well, hold on to your floppy disks, because Jerry's Generation Junction is here to revolutionize your digital life.
Hi folks, Jerry Jensen here from Jerry's Generation Junction, where our motto is, if it's AI, we got it on sale. Let me tell you, we've got more AI than you can shake a neural network at.
That's right, Jerry. Our neural networks are so dense, they're practically black holes of creativity.
Need images? We've got more style references than a time traveler's photo album. Video generation? Oh boy, do we have options. We've got Runway, Luma, Kyber, even a special preview of Sora for our first 100 buyers.
Wow, Jerry, that's incredible. But can it run Doom?
Bob, my friend, our AI can not only run Doom, it can generate infinite Doom levels faster than you can say BFG 9000.
And it can play them all simultaneously while composing a heavy metal soundtrack.
But wait, there's more. Chatbots? We got them coming on our Ethernet ports. From ChatGPT to Claude, we've even got an archived copy of Tay hiding in the bargain bin.
OMG, Jerry! Your chatbot selection is totally lit. I've been chatting with one for 5 minutes, and it's already written my autobiography and planned my next vacation.
And for you digital artists out there, we've got a truckload of stable diffusion models so stable they could balance an egg on a roller coaster.
But Jerry, I can barely draw a stick figure. How can this help me?
Bob, with our AI, you don't draw stick figures, you prompt masterpieces. Watch this.
It's like Bob Ross and Picasso had a digital baby.
But that's not all. Call in the next 10 minutes, and we'll throw in a free I Survived the AI Apocalypse t-shirt.
So come on down to Jerry's Generation Junction. Whether you need to make movies, write the next great American novel, or just cook up some good old-fashioned deep fakes, we've got you covered.
Jerry's Generation Junction is not responsible for any user content generated by our products.
Remember, at Jerry's Generation Junction, our AI is so advanced it can predict yesterday's weather with 110% accuracy.
Jerry, your deals are breaking the internet. Hashtag AI Revolution. Hashtag Jerry's for the win.
I still don't understand half of what's happening, but I'll take 2 of everything.
Don't wait, don't hesitate, generate.
Located at the corner of Silicon and Valley. Open 24/7 because our AI never sleeps.
Jerry's Generation Junction, where every pixel's a steal.
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 The management of Jerry's Generation Junction would like to clarify that every pixel's a steal is meant in the most legally ambiguous way possible. No pixels were harmed in the making of this infomercial, and any resemblance to existing art is purely coincidental and not the result of AI models scraping content off the internet.
Remember, folks, in the world of AI, copyright laws are still loading, but here at Jerry's, the only thing we're definitely stealing is your heart.
Jerry's Generation Junction, where our lawyers are still figuring out if we own anything we sell. Call now.
Yeah, so anyway, I just like to make things that make me laugh, and it made me laugh making it.
That one made me laugh as well. It's so fun. Isn't it fun?
Exactly. That's why I got into it in the first place. It's
It
fun.
was always fun, exactly, but it takes a lot of time. Boy, I remember with that pirates thing, I guess one of the other reason I showed the pirates thing is my, wife demanded that I start on, this year's pirates thing, and as I told Lisa when I made that one, I actually have 5 other stories, that were already pretty much made when I made that one, so I will start working on the one for, this Halloween very soon.
Yes, we have lots of things to work on. I'm working on a lot of things that are not actually AI, although I have been using LLMs to help with a lot of the development of it, and I'm very excited about that. Lance is going to get a sneak preview soon. So, yes, we have a lot of stuff going
Ooh.
on. Very, 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 a lot of directions. But that's one of the things that I really love about working with him in particular. Is it's fun because Turtle and Hare is like tale as old as time. But this is kind of on a quick side note again, talking about competition versus cooperation. And it's kind of funny to me because the old story of the turtle and the hare is about the competition, and slow and steady wins the race, and the turtle racing against the hare. And, kind of with our partnership, it's about the collaborative aspect and sort of turning that story of the turtle and the hare from one of competition to one of collaboration, where they're great friends and they support each other and they're both in the race together. And I think one of the it's interesting how we even became turtle and hare completely randomly, but I think it really suits us and reflect us because he is very go getter, as you can see, and very fast pace. Let's go, 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 run, 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 just like the rabbit. And then I'm like, well, I got to think about it. Hold on. I tend to overthink. I analyze everything. I'm taking notes all the time. And it's great to have both perspectives, actually. I think even just us being male and female, it fits too, because a lot of society these days is pitting us all against each other. And I really think that there's a lot that you bring to the table when you embrace both the masculine and feminine aspects of life. And I think that we have a great partnership because it's like he can keep us moving in a direction, but then I can say, like, hold on, let's step back and think about it a little bit. And then you really do need both parts of life, that time to sit back and reflect and create and make things, and then the time to move forward and put your plans into motion. So that's one of the things that excites me about our partnership is that our interests, while varied and all over the place, are also varied and all over place in the same direction. And so it keeps us moving forward while also having time to step back. And I just really think it's a lot of fun, and I'm really grateful to have teamed up with him and all of this. It's fun to me to be able
Oh,
to change that story from the competition to the collaboration. I think it's really fun.
that's so nice. So, yes, so that's pretty much it. I don't know, I just kinda wanted to share a couple of things there to remind everybody we used to create stuff too, and we will again. Actually, I'm knee deep in creating right now. It's just that what I'm making now is just for the business, for our business. We were making things for everybody else, but, now we're doing it for ourselves. Um, and with that, I guess that's pretty much it. Once again, you guys are awesome. I have had nothing but fun here the entire time, and we will continue having fun. Please do send us your email if you want to keep up to date on what we're up to, and follow us over. Oh, wait, we didn't put the little okay, the TikTok thing or in the
Oh, right.
Instagram because I'm not exactly sure how to do it.
We're still figuring all of that out. But if you follow us over on YouTube and here on our accounts here on X, then we'll post them out there too.
Right, and, well, TikTok's basically it's turtle in hair. And yeah, with that, I wanna bid everybody a huge thank you for, coming out, and, again, like I said, try to avoid the toxicity out there. If, people are in your DMs saying things that they wouldn't say out in public, figure it out. You know who they are.
Yes, and keep focused on the abundance of the world, the great future that we're all headed into together, and being positive, being the world that reflecting the world you want to see around you. I think that's the most important thing, and no matter what you're doing, because you never know how your small interaction with somebody in the world can change their life forever, even based off the smallest conversation you might have. So just be mindful of anywhere you're out at the grocery store, a restaurant, anything you're doing in life, you have an opportunity to change someone's life for the better or the worse. So be the person who makes that person's day.
Right. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much for
We love
coming
you.
out. And yeah, it has really been an awesome time.